Welcome to our end of 1980s soccer special. For us here at Channel 028, the season started on October 26, only 2 days after the official opening of our station. On that day, we had our first ever live telecast. Since then, you've seen a lot of soccer, including several live international matches from the Socceroo Tour of Europe and Asia. Tonight, we present to you a summary of matches which made us Australia's soccer station. As I said, we started on October 26 with a top 4 cup final in Canberra between Heidelberg and Sydney City.
A bit of ping pong here, John. Not many of these passes finding the man, but here is one to Gary Cole, which is very dangerous indeed. And Cole has scored. And there is the opening goal of the match. Gary Cole, the scorer. After 31 minutes, the highest goal scorer in the Phillips League, and there's the shot of the Heidelberg bench. Gary Cole showing there why he has scored 21 goals this season. On the breakaway, after a bit of scrappy play in midfield, a through pass finally found him, and he pushed it past the advancing Todd Clark, who could only get a hand.
Sydney City caught a little bit square at the back there, and Gary Cole, it's a thoroughly deserved goal for Heidelberg, but to this stage they have been the better side, and there's Gary Cole making sure that that ball stays in after missing, after Heidelberg had missed so many golden opportunities earlier on.
So the score, once again, after 32 minutes, Heidelberg United 1, Sydney City 0. Watson. Again, a goal now, scrimmage, and Jeff Olver left sprawling on the ground there as the on-rushing Ian Bruce got a foot to the ball, and here's the counter-attack, Gary Cole there, and the on-rushing Andy Vazekas misses it also.
Penalty.
And it'll be a penalty. A penalty has been awarded for a foul, either on Gary Cole or Jamie Payton.
Penalty for the push on Payton.
Here's the disc now.
Yes.
And the push was on Jamie Payton as Payton came rushing through. Gerardo Gomez gave him a nudge, and of course the incident happened inside the penalty area. And now it'll be a penalty to Heidelberg United, which could very easily, of course, take them into a 2-0 lead. Penalties are, as soccer experts say, a very difficult game. They can only be kicked badly. And here's Gary Cole, pushes it safely into the right-hand corner, sending Todd Clark the wrong way. And Gary Cole's second goal brings the lead to Heidelberg United to 2-0. Now away comes Salamides. And now Jamie Payton. Out to Vazekas. With him is Cole, and here's Cole now. Marvellous, marvellous goal by Heidelberg United. And that really will stand up as the best goal of the match so far. Beautifully worked. Jamie Payton, Jim Campbell involved. Andy Vazekas made a fine run, pushed it inside to the almost unmarked Gary Cole. There is Vazekas there, pushing it inside, perfectly onto the right foot of Gary Cole, and a prolific man like him doesn't miss from there. Murray Barnes. Now finding Cole is Jimmy Campbell and Jamie Payton, and there's number 4. There's number 4 for Heidelberg United. Jamie Payton, the man who has partnered Gary Cole as Heidelberg's leading goal scorer this season. He has scored 15 goals before this one. That's his 16th goal of the season. And Gary Cole, his goal-scoring partner, helped him along in that effort, pushing that ball towards him, and all Jamie had to do is slot it home into that left-hand corner. So, John?
Full marks to Gary Cole there. A lot of lesser players would have, with 3 goals on the board, have tried to make it 4. He would have been fully justified in taking the opportunity himself, but laid it on for his scoring mate, and has brought up full time at 4-0. thoroughly deserved Heidelberg. Against my thoughts on the game, I thought that Sydney City would win, but Heidelberg have been able to implant their method and system on the game to the detriment of Sydney City, who never got it out of first gear all day.
That was the voice of Les Murray, our commentator, and his guest was Johnny Warren. There were several Socceroos playing in that match. Players like Gary Cole, for example, performed with tons of confidence. I made that comment with a purpose, but I want to leave it at that and say no more for now. After that, the national team prepared for the tour of Europe and Asia. Before they left, their confidence was evident. Murray, this was the final training session, and this tour is the final preparation for the elimination series. How do you feel about it?
Well, we had a good run against the Maccabi team that's going down to Melbourne. I think everybody's in good shape, and that we should represent ourselves well overseas. Yeah.
You are the captain of the team. How do you feel about that?
Oh, great. Really proud to be the captain. It's a big honour for me, personally, and I think that I'll be able to lead the team really well.
Your physical condition after the injury?
Well, there was a bit of doubt about it earlier on in the week, and had a hard fitness training last Friday and again this morning, and I pulled up okay in the game just now as well, and yeah, I'm 100%.
Do you feel that you'll come back as a confident, winning team from this tour?
Well, it's very hard to predict that, and I think I'd be stupid to say that we're going to win the majority of the matches overseas. They're, as you know, top professional players and teams we're playing against, and it's a very hard tour, but I'll be optimistic that it'll be a really good preparation for our eliminations early next year.
Murray, thanks and good luck.
Thanks very much.
Okay, mate. Rudi, this is the final training session, and what's the final judgment?
Everybody is fit. I'm very happy that nobody came injured or sick, and we made a training game against the amateur team. What's going on? And so far I'm happy. I hope that we can go out tomorrow, because there was a rumor that the strike goes on, and I hope that we can go. Otherwise we arrive in Greek with late and we play with jet lag. I'm happy so far, and I hope that we can make some positive results.
Good luck, Rudi.
Thank you, Vladimir.
The purpose of the tour was to form a standard national team and to create cohesion within that team. The tour started in Athens. The match Greece versus Australia was our first ever satellite telecast. Our commentator was Hugh Johns.
Oh, the ball given away to Perry, and a quick break on here for Cole. Support from Sean down the middle. He's going to try this himself. He's going to score. Oh, fine goal. Gary Cole, 1-0 Australia. There's Kudas now. Delaying it for Balis. Perry in quickly. That ball will drop for Damasos. Damasos, little curl ball, a good one. A beautiful equaliser too from Panathinaikos. And the man who did it, the number 10, Damasos, the first man to get the congratulations. And that's Balis up in the air. Davidson getting a touch for Sean. Oh, and gave it to nobody. But he wins it back, or does he? No, he doesn't. Zindros, the ball in for Arlambridis, and here's Damasos! And Damasos scores, and the ground erupts on his 50th cap day. That really caps his day. Damasos puts Greece in the lead, 2-1. That's Krenčević. Well, that was a totally deliberate, cynical foul by the number 6, Balis, and that is worth the yellow card. And the referee hesitatingly puts his hand to his top pocket. Rudi Gutendorf on the park, having a go at the referee, being hauled away, in fact. And that's got to be worth the yellow card. It really has. If Krenčević was worth the yellow card earlier, then that was definitely worth one. The number 6, Balis, made no bones about it at all. I wonder if we can see this now. There's Krenčević on his way. Now we look for the number 6 to come in. There's the number 6, Balis, coming to him now. And there is the challenge. And you can see that was totally deliberate. In fact, I'm not at all sure it wasn't worth a red card. Davidson. Tripped from behind by Bullies. Fellow that's not too fussy where he puts his feet at times. Henderson. Good running by Barnes. And he scored an equaliser. Yes, indeed he has. That's 2-2. Well, the skipper's done it. RUDI GUTENDORF's on his feet. There's a happy coach and manager of these Socceroos. Now being hurled out. And a lot of youngsters around our commentary position getting excited too. And Australian fans might have got excited there if Peter Shan had gone another 2 yards with that run. It was the number 5, Paraskos, who stopped him. Corner for Australia. Barnes is in the box. And the ball knocked out as far as Shan. Time to turn, hit it far post again. Selamides, oh, and it's in! It's 3-2, and Selamides, a Greek-born lad from North Greece. And with less than 2 minutes to go, Australia surely are going to get a result here, although Delikaris, oh no! Absolutely no way! That was unbelievable. I think if we see that again in slow motion, that has got to be the international con of 1980, or if not for all time. Delikaris had set his heart on getting that penalty. Skillful player though he is, he'd set his heart on getting that penalty when he picked the ball up 20 yards from the line, and he went for it all the way. And all he did, he waited for the tackle, and then he dived. I really have got to see that again on slow motion, because that was the big con of all time. But if it turns out at 3-3, well, and Delikaris is going to take the penalty himself when they can clear the baubles and beads as they appear to be from here. They're plastic tinnies, actually. Delikaris, he's got it. It's 3-3. Murray Barnes, who got himself booked, I think can probably subscribe to the view that the Greeks have a word for it. Greek referee has added time on for that penalty to be taken. It's a 15 seconds overtime now. I think the Greek referee will add a little bit more on just to make it look a little better. But that, I think, is a terrible way for Australia to be denied a win on this tour, as assuredly that is what is going to happen. All right, the goal by Selamides was soft, but the penalty was a joke.
The penalty was a joke, I agree with Hugh Jones. Considering that Greece didn't field its first squad, this was not a success, but the result 3-3 doesn't allow us to describe it as a flop. We saw some fine individual effort, example, Gary Cole's goal, which gave Australia a 1-0 lead, and for the Greeks it was all-man Domazos, Mimis Domazos, who made this average match into an exciting event. The national coach RUDI GUTENDORF came under strong criticism for his behaviour when he came on the field to protest against a foul on Edi Krnčević. Australian journalists travelling with the team reported the incident as a disgrace to Australia. The Socceroos then travelled to Britain. 2 matches were played. Australia lost to England B 0-1 and beat Leicester City 2-1. Against England B, Gary Cole missed 2 clear chances, and Arsenal's Alan Sutherland scored the only goal of the match, and that was in the 51st minute. Against Leicester, Australia played well and deserved its 2-1 victory. In between those 2 matches, the Socceroos played against Fiorentina in Italy. Then, that event was given the title of the controversial match of the tour. The Socceroos came to Stadio di Livorno in Florence with 1 draw and 1 loss in the bag. They drew 3-3 with Greece in Athens and lost to England B 0-1. Just before they left Australia, the national coach RUDI GUTENDORF complained about the schedule. He said that it would be hard for his boys to play England B and Fiorentina within 2 days. The teams took the field in the following formations: Fiorentina Carli, Reali, Boncato, Guerini, Ferroni, Orlandini, Guestelli, Casagrande, Fattori, Antognoni and Bertogni. Australia, Ma, Perry, Davidson, Perscalo, Bounce, Henderson, Bowden, Cole, Payton and Krincevic. Fiorentina, a skillful side, played better throughout the game and finally won the match, scoring a goal in each half. The first goal came from a free kick after a foul on Bertogni. Italian players took time with this free kick. Antognoni took it, and it was a beautiful goal. The ball deflected off Alan Miles close into the back. 1-0 for the At the beginning of the second half, there was some confusion. The referee stopped the game and ordered the Australian coach, RUDI, to sit in the spectator stand. Gutendorf was complaining because the referee booked his players for talking to each other during the game. RUDI called the players off the field. Eventually he changed his mind and sent the Socceroos back to the game, and the second half was resumed. Only 40 seconds later, Fiorentina scored through Orlandini, making the final score 2-0. Australia's biggest defeat was in Yugoslavia against Dinamo Zagreb, but we'll leave that one for later. On the Asian part of the tour, the Socceroos played against Israel, Hong Kong and Indonesia. After a long journey to Israel and then via Rome to Hong Kong, the Australians were unable to beat anyone. They lost to Hong Kong 0-1 and drew with Indonesia 1-0, but they played well against Israel and won.
Tremendous long throw for Sean. And Sean is there for Australia. Cole waiting in the middle. Penalty right at the spot. Referee Charil made no mistake about that one. Sean going down the side, down the left side, and it's Ben Draw. There's the man on his knees saying a little prayer, but his prayers weren't answered. While they decide who's going to take the penalty, the referee waves the players away. It's Cole placing the ball. There it is. Now we'll look for the tackle, which will come there, and there's no question. He takes the ball, but he takes the legs as well. So it's Cole for a penalty. 1-0 Australia. Whistling for the fans. Will it put Cole off? Here he goes. 1-0 Australia. And Gary Cole, the scorer. And RUDI Gutendorf allows a smile. The Scheinflug lights another cigarette. Gary Cole gets congratulations from Australian players. And we get the chance to see Gary Cole do it all over again. Mizrahi goes right, the ball goes to his left. It's 1-0 Australia. Eisendorn. Echoes back to Mizrahi. And a fair bit of space for Einstein to attack into if he wants to. Playing an early one for Turk. Back to Einstein. Israeli players trying to lose their markers now. That's a nice little stab ball from Bowden. The break is on for Australia. Cole has Bowden to his right. Kenny Bowden. There was an offside flag. So we're off and running for the second half. 1-0 Australia. And with two substitutions made, in a moment or two, we'll check around and see who's not come out for Israel in the second half. Well, that is Barr, one of the substitutions. Normally a starting player, Barr, Chaim Barr, 40 caps for his side, very experienced player. And he's playing at right back in place of Kirat. Strangely enough, the number 15, who I thought wouldn't be out here, that's Berta. He's still there. What was a solid push by Jankovic then on Benny Lam. Free kick. And we have Gadi Maknes, the number 14. He's on for Turk. Jimmy Turk has not come out for the second half. He took a pretty bad knock on the leg early doors in the first half. He's the one that isn't out there. So we have Nissim Cohen, number 8, over the ball. Although it's Barr moves up. Ah, that's naughty. Now they've got to re-put the wall up. Having moved the ball about a yard to the right, he hoped that the wall would stay where it was. And they try it again. So now Fogel's had a go at it, and Nissim Cohen. Well, that's the best attempt at a free kick that we've seen in the whole game so far, that one from Nissim Cohen. Well, we haven't got very much time left on the watch. Just about a minute to play. And RUDI GUTENDORF is going for another substitution. He wants to bring on Johnny Spanos. And here's Murray Barnes. Einstein. Fogel the touch on Davidson. He had to be positive, and he was. Well, Johnny Spanos, number 16, I don't think he's going to get on, or is he? Well, he's still warming up over there, though there can be less than 30 seconds of the game left. Alan Marr bounces that one a long way up, and Salamides gets a good head to it. Good play. That was honesty by Krencevic. He got a very solid whack, in fact, from Maknes. He's down injured. The referee thinks he's all right. And play will go on. We're in stoppage time now. The 45 minutes is up. Free kick for Davidson to take. Referee wanting it taken. Krencevic is still down on the ground. And the referee could start worrying about deliberate time wasting. That's Shah. Knocks that back to Salamides. Now, the range was too long. But how much stoppage time have we got to play? Mizrahi hits that one long. Fogel giving it a try, and a free kick given to Israel. And we're in stoppage time still. Ekois, Nissim Cohen. Ekois. Good try. Ekois, as everybody anticipated, the ball across the box. Ekois tried it on target. And I think referee Charil is about to end the game. He does. He points to the center circle. The second victory of the tour for the Socceroos, the best by far. A full Category A international match won on foreign soil by Australia, 1-0. And that really does put them in tremendous spirits, I'm sure. The goal scored by Gary Cole in the first half from the penalty spot. A good penalty decision, and a good penalty kick.
Hello there. Well, I'm Hugh Johns, and I was delighted when Channel O invited me to do commentaries for them on 2 of the Australian Socceroos touring matches. First one from the Panathinaikos Stadium in Athens, where we saw the full Greek national side playing against Australia, and then from Beersheba on the edge of the Negev desert against Israel. Both matches live by satellite direct to Australia. Soccer, very much an international sport, and we hope you'll agree that Channel O is bringing it to you. And again, on Sunday night, another live transmission of soccer, this time as the Socceroos wind up their tour against Indonesia in Jakarta.
The game now in its 3rd minute, and the scoreline still locked at 0-0. Australia defending the goal to our left. The injured player is Alan Marr. There's a shot of what is quite a large crowd here tonight at the Senayan Stadium here in Jakarta. RUDI GUTENDORF out there with Charlie Juricic, the team masseur, and Alan Marr to take his place back in the goals for Australia. So the corner to be taken from the right-hand side. Short corner taken. The number 12 is Effendi, a player with big raps on him here, and that's a great goal. Effendi has scored. in the 4th minute. And what a great start for Indonesia. Well, as I was saying, the local press have got some tremendous raps on this young fellow, Julham Effendi from the Panathinaikos club here in Jakarta, and he's put Indonesia in the lead by 1-0. Well, can Australia come back? About 20 minutes before the start of the game, a very heavy shower fell. It's the second torrential downpour we've had in Jakarta today, so obviously the conditions out there reasonably slippery, although the pitch is beautifully grassed. It really is a stadium up to international standard, a magnificent stadium. In fact, it was built in 1962, or in fact it was opened in 1962 for the Asian Games. It is encircled by an all-weather synthetic track, and it seats well over 100,000 people. So it's Simpson Rumapasel to take the throw on the right-hand side for Indonesia. That's Subangkit. Very deliberate in the build-up, the Indonesian side. They know they're already leading by that 1-0. A brilliant start. Back goes Hogg. Played forward for Murray Barnes. So Barnes has pushed forward for the Australian side. Shahn's made the run, but finally taken away by Rudi Neri. And this Indonesian side obviously very, very quick on the break. Alan Maher is off his line and brilliantly saved. Brilliant save by the Australian goalkeeper. He had to commit himself on that occasion. So Alan Davidson trying to inject some life into this Australian attack. Mark Jankovic, who is playing alone up front today as the lone centre forward, with the backing of Krencevic, Peter Shahn and Kenny Bowden. That's Bowden, the number 8. From all reports, Kenny Bowden has really blossomed on this Australian tour and was named today by Rudi GUTENDORF as one of the real consistent players so far on the tour. One of his big disappointments was the form of Tony Henderson, and Rudi mentioned to me today that he expected far bigger things from the former Australian captain. Young Stephen Hogg. So the corner to be taken by Australia from the left-hand side. Up goes Krencevic, headed on by Jankovic, and stuck away by Henderson. The equaliser by Australia, by Tony Henderson, and what a vital goal that was for Australia. And it came from a corner from Peter Shahn, and the two Marconi players, Jankovic and Krencevic combined. And finally, it was Tony Henderson that found himself on the end of a receiving ball from Jankovic to put it away, and Australia pulled one back. 1 goal all, 12.5 minutes of play gone in this first half. The referee has come back to Australia's side of halfway. The substituted player, the substitution coming on is Nasir Salasa of PSM in South Celebes. Theo Salamides. And where are the Australian forwards? Salamides made great inroads down the left-hand side there for Australia. So I think the injured player for the Indonesian side is Ronnie Patanasarani, the captain of the Indonesian side. And we only hope that it's not all that serious. Gary Cole, dispossessed. Played forward. The number 12 there is Effendi. And finally out for Hadius Mato. But the throw going to Australia. We're into the final minute of actual playing time. And it will be interesting to note just how much time is added on for injuries in the second half and stoppages. Payton, Jamie Payton, couldn't quite get there in time. The Australian attack is not all over yet. Murray Barnes couldn't bring it under control. And the home crowd started to whistle to the referee. The 45 minutes are up in the second half. And some 50,000 people have witnessed this game tonight, and it appears almost certain that the game will end in a draw. The referee is looking at his watch. The throw to be taken by Indonesia, as the referee signals full time at the Senayan Stadium in Jakarta. Australia wind up their world tour with a 1-1 draw with the Indonesian side, so their record against Indonesia remains intact at 5 wins and 2 draws since 1967.
The match against Indonesia was our last satellite telecast and Australia's last match of the tour. We still don't have that cohesion in our team, and we still don't have a standard national team. As I said earlier, we still have to show you the highlights of the match against Dinamo, who are, by the way, coming to Australia in January. The Socceroos will then have the opportunity to pay Dinamo back for the catastrophic defeat in Zagreb. Anyway, after Indonesia, the national team returned to Australia. The Australian national team returned home after a hard, exhausting tour, a tour which created a lot of controversy. An army of Sydney soccer journalists bombarded the national coach RUDI GUTENDORF with provocative and often insulting questions at the Sydney International Airport. Most of the questions asked related to reported disputes between Mr. GUTENDORF and his players. The national coach insisted that he is a professional who demands discipline.
A coach does his job, and his job is to bring the Australian national team to Spain. For that aim, I got my contract, and it is ridiculous what I hear here, respect or not respect. What I need, what the national coach need, is not respect, it's results that we make it. And a lot of my players, maybe including Murray Barnes, I don't know him so many times, they have to do a job. They have to win the games, they have to mark tight and nothing else. And when I say 8 o'clock in the bus, then they have to be 8 o'clock in the bus and not 5 minutes later.
You seem to be making quite a big deal about this 8 o'clock in the bus. A minute either way.
There's
a little bit of human error, surely. Can't
we
people...
have nothing to do with human error. In a team sport, there must be discipline. A lot of the boys, they haven't been in the army. They have to learn it with me, because it is important. If we win against teams, they have this discipline, like South Korea, like Iran and Kuwait. Otherwise, we achieve nothing. That's a shock for Murray Barnes and for Davidson and from 7, 8 things to work with me. They don't know. They don't know what's going on. They like more this, I will not say sloppy, but they think when I'm screaming and I'm pushing them for discipline, that is a point that they have to sit together to make a complaint. But in team sport, and I especially, I'm known in Europe for that. I rate discipline higher as ability. That is the problem.
Australian captain Murray Barnes was asked to put his view on GUTENDORF's behaviour, but then the president of the Australian Soccer Federation, Sir Arthur George, insisted that Barnes is not qualified to talk about his coach.
How would you describe RUDI GUTENDORF as a coach?
I don't think that the captain of the Australian team should be asked to publicly discuss his
I'm sorry, Sir Arthur, I think he has to.
Well, I don't think he has to do anything, my dear fellow. Don't use that sort of language. He hasn't. He is the captain of the team. We will report to the Australian Soccer Federation as captain, and so will the coach, and so will the vice president who attended with the team. If you want to ask the captain matters relating to his team and the play, okay, but I'm asking him not to enter into a discussion on his opinion of his coach or his vice president or our vice president who accompanied the team. That is not conducive to discipline. It's the most unprofessional way for any team to operate.
Barnes, however, defended Rudi Gutendorf, but also said that he and the rest of the players didn't expect him to be so strict.
Is there to see that we play as well as we can. I hadn't personally expected that the discipline would be so hard, but I think everybody in the squad accepts that to get to the World Cup in Spain it has to be disciplined. Players want to play for Australia. Frustrations on the field, off the field, you're always going to have them. We're going to have problems all the time, and it's a sign of a good team, it's a sign of a good coach, it's a sign of a good organisation. If we can work out our problems, and we've had problems, if we can work out our problems and get our act together.
The leader of the tour, Mr. Vic Tuting, then said that despite the problem, the Socceroos received warm welcomes wherever they went.
We had the best of receptions and the best of attention from officials and the people around us. Very, very good.
In Zagreb, for instance, the Australians were received by the Premier of Croatia, Mr. Peter FLEKOVIC. However, that's where the Socceroos got a real lesson in soccer.
So Australia in match number 5 of their World Tour facing one of Europe's more illustrious club sides. And there's the Australian lineup. Greg Woodhouse keeping his position in goal after he took it over from Alan Maher for the win against Leicester. He played so very well there and he keeps it for this match. Other than that, the Australian side is much the same. Dinamo Zagreb, the men to watch there are Kovacevic, the match-winning left winger, who plays number 11, and Kranjčar, one of their internationals, whom we saw as a substitute playing against Italy in a World Cup elimination match a couple of weeks ago. And now Kovacevic giving away a corner was Henderson. So the first corner then to Dinamo. In swinger, glancing header by the number 9, Tserin. An out-and-out battering centre forward for Dinamo. Very much the front man of this very fine Yugoslav First Division side. Dinamo, holders of the Yugoslav Cup, participating in this year's European Cup Winners' Cup, of course, and runners-up in the league in the Yugoslav First Division in 1979. Mustadanagic, long cross looking for this man, Tserin again. Good back heel, Kovacevic. And there's number 1. Lovely goal by Dinamo. Kovacevic, the match winner, gets it. But first across from Mustadanagic. This is Tserin. That elusive back heel. 16 minutes gone. Dinamo Zagreb leading Australia. 1-0 through a goal by Kovacevic in the 6th minute. Bogdan for Dinamo. Kranjčar. Deveric. Mustadanagic. Dribble. And a good goal. Well, the number 9, Tserin, just had to stick his head out. It was Mustadanagic, this man number 4, who did the groundwork. Beautifully crossed. And Les Scheinflug now signalling to the referee that the number 17, John Eisendorn, will be coming on. And it looks like Henderson who will be coming off. So midfielder for midfielder. I don't think it'll cause a reshuffle of any sort in the team. And there's Henderson coming off. Mustadanagic. So a good chance again for Dinamo to go 3 goals ahead. Now Australia on the attack. Krenčević. Barnes. Slipping and sliding on this very, very wet surface. Jovicevic with the throw. This is Kovacevic. Zayed. Jovicevic. Clash between Perry and Kovacevic. Brings a free kick to Dinamo ruling, and Mustadanagic comes away. Neatly done, and he's there to score number 3. And that's a fine goal again from Dinamo. Kovacevic took the kick. One flick by Mustadanagic. Then a weaving run past the goalkeeper. And he just had to roll it in for number 3. Bosniak looking for Moreno on the left. Chasing is Perry. Moreno. Somebody waving for offside. Has it been given? No, it hasn't. It's a corner. Well, the rain now mixed with sleet and snow. So conditions, rather than improving, becoming decidedly worse. Something that will not cheer the Australians up. With 3 goals for Dinamo up on the board. Bosniak. Jovicevic. Dumbovic. Bosniak, Dumbovic. Mlinaric. And brought down in a rather distasteful Australian sandwich. Well, Mlinaric, a dangerous character, threatened the goal on a number of occasions since he came on as a substitute. Now gets a free kick for his trouble and in a very dangerous position. As Bogdan lines up for it and scores! Well, good free kick. And there's the scoreboard now. A sorry sight for Australia. So an Australian free kick now. A slim chance for Australia to hit the back of that Dinamo net. But all to no avail. Moreno for Dinamo. Overcomplicating it. And the shot from Cvetkovic. Nice try to Dinamo substitute combining Moreno and Cvetkovic. And this truly is a night Greg Woodhouse will want to forget. Murray Barnes. Kurtela and Stincic. As the final whistle goes for a match Australia will not particularly want to remember, but in the way of excuses for them, firstly, the conditions quite abominable. Wet, muddy, slippery surface, sleet and snow and rain throughout the match. A very classy opposition in Dinamo Zagreb, and 4 excellent goals by Kovacevic, Cerin, Mustadanagic in the first half, and that devastating free kick in the second half by Bogdan.
That was the coldest of showers our boys experienced on their tour. In that match, the Socceroos didn't create one single chance. But when Dinamo come here to play us in our weather conditions, it'll be perhaps different. Meanwhile, back to Zagreb. After the match, Mr. FLEKOVIC and Mr. Tuting exchanged warm words.
Dozvolite da večeras u gradu Zagrebu, glavnom gradu Socijalističke Republike Hrvatske, pozdravim vas, funkcionere Nogometnog saveza Australije, na čelu sa gospodinom viceprezidentom tog saveza Tutingom.
Please allow me to extend my very, very hearty welcome to you all in the capital of Croatia, in Zagreb, to you all who are representatives of the Football Federation of Australia, together with the Vice President of that federation, Mr. Tuting.
We bring to you the warmest greetings of the people of Australia.
Donosim vam najtoplije pozdrave ljudi iz naroda Australije.
And I thank you for your greetings to us here tonight.
I zahvaljujem vam za vaše pozdrave I dobrodošlicu nama večeras.
We may not be quite as good as you at football,
Možda nismo tako dobri kao što ste vi u nogometu,
but I can assure you, in friendship, we will take a lot of beating.
Mr. Tuting will be able to keep his promise in January. Well, that's it. That is what we did in 1980. We learned a lot, and I hope that the Socceroos and all other soccer people in Australia benefited from it. On behalf of all of us here at Channel 28, I wish you all a happy, new and exciting 1981 soccer year. Let's all get together to help Australia to qualify for 1982 World Cup and prove that soccer is the real football.
Soccer.